Hey everyone! We are in the most wonderful time of the year. It is December 13th, which means that Christmas is only 12 days away. You know what that means? That means people are going to start singing silly songs and, doing all sorts of things as they get geared up for Christmas here in a couple of weeks. Today I just wanted to kind of go over some things in regards to the winter solstice and holidays that traditionally are centered around that. The three holidays I'm going to go ahead and cover today are Christmas, Yule, and Hanukah. Please be aware that I am looking at this from an outsider's perspective. I've gone and looked at the history of all of these and not as someone who is actually celebrating any of them. This was entirely for informational purposes and things of that nature. So there's going to be some things that maybe possibly you might not agree with, and that's perfectly okay. But just be aware that I've researched this as, like I said, an outsider. The first one we have, obviously, is going to be Christmas. Christmas is celebrated on December 25th and is the celebration of the birth of Christ. It is considered both a religious and a cultural holiday. Religious because, obviously, of Christianity, but cultural because it's celebrated in other parts of the world where Christianity is not considered the main religion of the area. It was first ever observed in recorded history in 221 Common Era. The Puritans banned the holiday. The Puritans that came over in the Mayflower and all of that stuff. They claimed it was a Catholic fabrication and only promoted drunkenness and boisterous celebration, which they were against. It didn't become a common celebration until the 1800s. Most places before that didn't really celebrate Christmases, and especially not like we celebrate it today. In the 1940s, it started becoming commercialized. That's when they started creating Christmas cards and things like that. It became a U.S. federal holiday in 1870. And during World War I and World War II, or World War II, I can't remember which one or if it was both, there were actually small truces made on Christmas Day so that the soldiers could have a break and celebrate the birth of Christ without having to worry about enemy fire and things of that nature. Today, Christmas is, generally speaking, a very commercialized holiday where it's more about the gift giving than the religious observation of the birth of Christ. That's not to say that that isn't also observed. That's just, it's very much been centered around the presents and things of that nature. Next we have Yule, which is celebrated on the winter solstice. The winter solstice falls between December 20th to the 23rd, but it's usually going to be on the 21st or 22nd. The word Yule is likely German in origin. This holiday has been adopted by neo-pagans as the name for their winter solstice holiday. And the origin of many modern Christmas traditions, including the Yule log, caroling, sharing a meal, and gift giving, all were originally things that were celebrated during the ancient or but the festivities of the winter solstice, and this is pretty much across the board. It is a celebration of the rebirth of the sun. The winter solstice, if you don't know, is when the days start getting longer again as we head back towards spring and all of that. Yule is used in modern days to describe Christmas in countries such as Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. It's used interchangeably with Christmas in those areas. And like I said before, it's been adopted as the word that neo-pagans and heathens and, whatever word you wish to use for them, use to describe the celebration for the winter solstice. Hanukah is a Jewish holiday, also known as the Festival of Lights. It is an 8-day-long celebration where a candle is lit each day on a menorah. The center candle is kept lit for the entire time, and each day they light another candle at, I believe, sunset. The celebrations that are done doing this are reading of scriptures, almsgiving, and thanksgiving to God for the triumph over Antiochus IV, and I'm sure I butchered that. Technically, it was the rededication of the temple after winning this conflict. The conflict was the Greeks trying to force the peoples of Israel to follow Greek culture and beliefs. Obviously, they have their own culture and beliefs, and definitely did not want to follow the Greek rule in this. It was, like I said before, the rededication of the temple. At the time, they only had 1 day's worth of olive oil that was not contaminated by the Greeks. They lit the menorah and it burned for 8 days until they were able to properly prepare more oil for ritual purposes. Non-religious traditions include festive meals, songs, games, and gifts. Again, like we saw before with Christianity and Yule, these are themes that are commonly seen during the winter solstice celebration. And since the holiday revolves around how the olive oil lasted for 8 days, most of the foods that were eaten during this time to celebrate are fried foods or foods heavy in oil. So hopefully you enjoyed that short, little history lesson about the 3 major celebrations through December and with the winter solstice. And before I go, I just want to take a moment to show some of the items that I have made for Christmas for this year. You still have time to get it out. I'll probably have, I'd say, another week, maybe not quite a week, to get things out before, to get them to you before Christmas. But I made bracelets with charms on them. They're green, white, and red. And matching that are a necklace here, which I've got it taped around on the back so it'll stay and not tangle. And then a set of earrings. These are made with sterling silver hooks, so they should not irritate your ears if you are susceptible to that. And rather than go ahead and take out every single one of the charms that I've done, I'm just going to run through real quick and show all the pictures of all the charms. Each one is made exactly the same. The charm is just a little bit different. Anyway, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful holiday season, whichever of the religions that you follow, or even if you don't follow any. And I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.